Hey guys, welcome back again to the third part of the violin introduction. Previously, we have discussed about its construction and mechanism. We hope you have learned many new things from the previous video. If you have not seen the previous video, then you can catch up with it by clicking the link in description. Here in today's video, we will discuss about the tuning and its bows. Therefore, before we begin, if you are new to this channel and like the content what we post, then should go and hit the subscribe button and push the bell icon so that you'll not miss any exciting video when we upload them over here. Let's get started. At first, let's talk about the tuning. Violins are tuned by turning the pegs in the peg box under the scroll or by adjusting the fine tuner screws at the tailpiece. All violins have pegs. Fine tuners, also called fine adjusters, are optional. Most fine tuners consists of metal screw that moves a lever attached to the string end. They permit very small pitch adjustments much more easily than the pegs. By turning one clockwise, the pitch becomes sharper as the string is under more tension, and turning one counterclockwise, the pitch becomes flatter as the string is under less tension. Fine tuners on all four of the strings are very helpful when using those that have a steel core, and some players use them with synthetic strings as well. Since modern E strings are steel, a fine tuner is nearly always fitted for that string. Fine tuners are not used with gut strings, which are more elastic than steel or synthetic core strings and do not respond adequately to the very small movements of the fine tuners. To tune a violin, the A string is first tuned to a standard pitch, usually A is equals to 440 Hz. When accompanying or playing with a fixed pitch instrument such as a piano or accordion, the violin tunes to it. The oboe is generally the instrument used to tune orchestras where violins are present, since its sound is penetrating and can be heard over the other woodwinds. The other strings are then tuned against each other in intervals of perfect fifths or by blowing them in pairs. A minutely higher tuning is sometimes employed for solo playing to give the instrument a brighter sound. Conversely, baroque music is sometimes played using lower tunings to make the violin sound more gentle. After tuning, the instrument's bridge may be examined to ensure that it is standing straight and centered between the inner nicks of the F holes, and crooked bridge may be significantly affect the sound of an otherwise well-made violin. After extensive playing, the holes into which the tuning pegs are inserted can become worn, which can lead the peg to slip under tension. This can lead to the pitch of the string dropping, or if the peg becomes completely loose, to the string completely losing tension. A violin in which a tuning peg are slipping needs to be repaired by a luthier or violin repair person. Peg dope or peg compound used regularly can delay the onset of such wear while allowing the pegs to turn smoothly. The tuning G, D, A, E is used for most violin music, both in classical music, jazz, and folk music. Other tunings are occasionally employed. The G string, for example, can be tuned up to A. The use of non-standard tunings in classical music is known as scordatura. In some folk styles, it is called cross-tuning. One famous example of scordatura is classical music is Camille Saint-Saëns' Danse Macbeth, where the solo violin's E string is tuned down to E flat to impart an eerie dissonance to the composition. Other examples of the third movement of contrasts by Bela Bartok, where The E string is tuned down to E flat and the G tuned to G sharp, and the Mystery Sonatas by Biber, in which each movement is different scordatura tuning. In Indian classical music, the Indian light music, the violin is likely to be tuned to D sharp, A sharp, D sharp, A sharp in the South Indian style. As there is no concept of absolute pitch in Indian classical music, any convenient tuning maintaining these relative pitch intervals between the strings can be used. Another prevalent tuning with these intervals is B flat F, B flat F, which corresponds to sa pa in Indian Carnatic classical music style. In North Indian Hindustani style, the tuning is usually pa sa instead of sa pa. This could correspond to F B flat F B flat. For instance, Iranian classical music and Iranian light music, the violin is different tuning. In any dastgah, the violin is likely to be tuned E A in Dastgah-e-Isfahan, or in Dastgah-e-Sur is EADE and EAEE. In Dastgah-e-Mahur is EADA. In Arabic classical music, the AE strings are lowered by whole step, that is GD. This is to ease playing Arabic maqams, especially those containing quarter tones. While most violins have 4 strings, there are violins with additional strings. Some have as many as 7 strings. 7 strings is generally thought to be maximum number of strings that can be put on a bowed string instrument, because with more than 7 strings, it would be impossible to play a particular inner string individually with the bow. The instruments with 7 strings are very rare. The extra strings such violins typically are lower in pitch than the G string. These strings are usually tuned to C, F and B flat. If the instrument's playing length or string length from the nut to bridge is equal to that of an ordinary full-scale violin, that is a bit less than 13 inches or 33 centimeters, then it may be properly termed a violin. Some such instruments of somewhat longer or should be regarded as violas. Violins with 5 strings or more are typically used in jazz or folk music. Some custom-made instruments have extra strings which are not bowed but which sound sympathetically due to the vibrations of the bowed strings. Well, that was about the tuning of the violin. Now, let's talk about the bows. A violin is usually played using a bow consisting of a stick with ribbon of horsehair strung between the tip and frog or nut or heel at opposite ends. A typical violin bow may be 75 centimeters or 30 inches overall and weight around 60 grams or 2.1 ounces. Viola bows may be about 5 mm or 0.20 inches shorter and 10 grams or 0.35 ounces heavier. At the frog end, a screw adjuster tightens or loosens the hair. Just forward of the frog, a leather thumb cushion called the grip and winding protect the stick and provide a strong grip for the player's hand. Traditional windings are of wire, often silver or plated silver, silk or baleen, whalebone, now substituted by altering stripes of tan and black plastic. Bow hair traditionally comes from the tail of a grey male horse, which has predominantly white hair. Some cheaper bows use synthetic fiber. Solid rosin is rubbed onto the hair to render it slightly sticky when the bow is drawn across a string. The friction between them makes a string vibrate. Traditional materials for more costly bow stick include snake wood and Brazil wood, which is also known as Pernambuco wood. Some recent bow designs innovations use carbon fiber Koda bows for the stick at all levels of craftsmanship. Inexpensive bows for students are made of less costly timbers or from fiberglass. Well, that was the tuning and about the bows of a violin. We hope you have understood today's concept. If you have any queries, then feel free to contact us. You will find the contact details down in the description. If you have liked today's video, then don't forget to drop a like to it and share it with your family and friends so that even they can get to know about their favorite instrument, the violin. Tune in with us in the next part of the violin introduction, which is the part 4. To be notified when we upload part 4 of the violin introduction, go and hit the subscribe button and push the bell icon so that you'll not miss it when we upload it. You can follow us over Facebook and Instagram for more updates. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching and we will see you in the next video very soon. Till then, you can watch the rest of the videos right here on the screen.